day to all of you little ones. Let's get started. First, click the plus mark at the top corner of the screen to open a new tab. Next, type thunkable.com in the address bar and press the enter button. Now you have entered the Thunkable website. Then click the plus mark again to open another tab and visit the dpcode.lk website. Click on lesson number 321. Click on the Start Project button. Now you have entered the project. In our previous lessons, we created part of the weather app. Today, we are going to design the second part of this app. I have now completed adding the first part of the app that we designed in the previous lesson. If anyone missed our previous lesson, where we used the thunkable.com website to create the first part of the design, I suggest you check it out now. From here on, we will add the code to that design and complete the remaining section. As you can see, we have already designed the app as needed in the previous lesson. The two screens we created are displayed like this. We also added a code for the start screen. Alright, now we need to write the code for the screen temperature. But first, let's see what happens with the code. When the submit button is clicked, we will display the temperatures of the cities in the simple list. Once we click on the desired item in the list, the temperature of that city will be displayed in the label temperature. Additionally, the corresponding location will be displayed on the map below. So let's go back to the Blocks tab and start creating the code. First, we will need a variable to assign the API key. For that, drag a set API variable block from the variable section. Set the variable name as API key. For the value, connect a text block with an empty string from the text section. Next, we need a list to assign the cities list. Drag another initialize app variable block from variable section. Name this variable city list and connect an empty list block from the list section. Alright, next when the screen temperature opens, we need to assign the necessary API key for finding the temperature to the API key variable, and also we need to assign the cities that can be used to search for the temperature to the city list variable. Additionally, we want these cities to be displayed in the simple list. For that, drag a when screen temperature starts block. Inside this block, drag a set app variable API key block from the variable section. Connect a text block with an empty string from the text section and type the API key simple A 07 C957 3F715 CC 23E A BA 788 2327 3B 753. This key has been provided with the lesson, so you can copy it and paste it here. Next, drag another set of app variable block from variable section and set the variable name to city list. Connect a list block from the list section. Remove the three default items 1, 2, 3 by dragging them to the recycle bin. Instead, connect three text blocks from the text section, and in the first text block, type Jaffna. In the second, type Noor Elia, and in the last, type Mathara. Now we need to display these list items in the simple list. For that, drag a set simple list once text item to code block under simple list 1 section. Connect the app variable city list block from the variable section to this block. When the temperature screen opens, the submit button will be displayed. When the submit button is clicked, the height of the simple list should increase and the list items should be displayed. Additionally, the height of the map and the label should decrease. For that, I'll drag a when button submit click block under the button submit section. Inside this code block, I will drag a set simple list once height to code block and set the height to 300. Next, we need to reduce the height of the map and the label. I'll click on map 1 and drag a set map 1's height to block, setting the value to 0. Similarly, I will drag a set label temperature's height to code block under the label temperature section and set the value to 0. Alright, now the three cities will be displayed in the simple list. When we click on the city, we want to check the temperature, and the simple list should hide again and the map and the label temperature should expand. Additionally, the text of the submit button should change to display the cities from the simple list. Let's create the code for this part now. I'll drag a when simple list once item click code block from simple list once section. Inside this block, I will drag another set simple list once height to code block and set the height to 1. Next, we need to increase the height of the map and the label. I'll click on map 1 and drag a set map once height to block, setting the value to 300. Similarly, I'll drag a set label temperatures height to code block under label temperature section and set the value to 100. Alright, next, since we need to change the text of the submit button, I'll click on the button submit and drag a set button submits text to code block. For the text value, I'll connect the item block that is linked to the when simple list one item click block. Alright, next we need to create the code that will display the locations of the selected city on the map when the submit button is clicked. For that, I'll drag an if code block from the control section. Even when I drag the if code block, it should be placed inside the when simple list one item click code block. Okay, now we need to check if the text in the submit button is equal to Jaffna. For that, let's connect an equal sign code block from the logic section. On the left side of the equal sign, I will drag a submit button's text code block from the submit button section. On the right side of the equal sign, I will connect a code block with double quotation marks from the text section. Inside the text, type Jaffna. If this condition is true, the location corresponding to Jaffna should be displayed on the map. For that, we can provide a latitude and longitude value. I'll drag a set map once latitude to code block inside the if code block and set the value to 9.6615. Similarly, I will drag a set map once longitude to code block under map 1 and set the value to 80.0255. Alright, now the corresponding location is displayed on the map. At this point, the name of the city we selected will be displayed as the text inside the submit button. After the location and the temperature are displayed, the map and the label should shrink back and the simple list should be displayed again. We will need to click the submit button again at this point. However, I feel like displaying the city name continuously inside the submit button will not look appropriate. So, after displaying the temperature and the location for the selected city, we will update the code to show the text back inside the submit button after 4 seconds. I will drag a wait 1 second code block from control section inside this if block and change the time to 4 seconds. Next, I'll drag a set submits text to code block and change the text to back. Alright, next let's set the code to display the location of the cities Nuwara Eliya and Mathura in the same way. Instead of creating a new code from scratch, we can duplicate this code and make the necessary changes. I'll right-click on this if code block and select duplicate. I'll drag the duplicated code block below the original if code block. Okay, we need to check if the text in the submit button is equal to Nuwara Eliya. So, let's change the text on the right side of the equal sign to Nuwara Eliya. Next, we need to update the latitude and the longitude values on the map. We'll set the latitude to 6.9497 and the longitude to 80.7891. Similarly, I'll duplicate the if code block again and drag the duplicated code block below the second if code block. In the condition, we'll change the text on the right side of the equal sign to Mathura. Then, we will set the latitude to 5.9496 and the longitude to 80.5469. Alright, now we have finished setting up the code to display the location. Next, we'll create the necessary code to fetch the temperature. Let's create a function for this. From the functions category, I'll drag a to do something code block here. Instead of do something, let's name the function getWeather. Okay, next to search for the temperature, we need to provide the web API URL. For that, I'll drag a set web API's once URL code block here. Let's connect a join code block from the text section. Since we'll need to connect 6 more code blocks to this join block, let's expand the space. I'll click on the settings icon in front of the join block and drag 4 more item code blocks into the join code block. Alright, now let's click the settings icon again and remove this box. For the first text code block connected to the join code block, I'll provide the text http://api.open weathermap.org/data /2.5/weather $simple q $. This URL was provided along with the lesson. You can copy and paste it from there. Next, drag the world text block into the recycle bin to remove it. Instead, I'll connect button submits text code block from under submit button here. For the third, fourth and fifth blanks, I'll connect 3 text code blocks with double quotation marks from the text section. In the third block, I'll provide the text and sign units $. In the fourth text code block, I'll provide the text imperial. In the final text code block, I'll provide the text and sign app ID equal. Alright. Now for the last blank, I'll connect an app variable API key code block from the variable section. Next, below the set web APIs once URL code block, I'll drag call web API once get code block from under web API 1. Inside this block, I'll drag a set label temperatures text to code block under the label temperature. For the text, let's connect another join code block from the text section. I'll drag the hello code block connected to the joined code block into the recycle bin to remove it. Instead, I'll connect a get property of object code block from the object section. I'll select the property name as temp. For the next blank, I'll connect another get property of object code block from the object section and set the property name to main. Then for the next blank, I'll connect the get object from JSON's code block from the object section. I'll link the response code block from call web API once get to this get object from JSON code block. Alright, now for the text code block connected to this join code block, I'll type the letter F since this app displays the temperature in Fahrenheit. The F is added here to display the relevant unit. Now, we have finished creating this function. However, we still haven't called the function. The function needs to run when a list item is clicked in the simple list or when the submit button is clicked. So I'll drag a get weather code block from the function section here into the when simple list item 1 code block. I am placing this code block below the 3 if code blocks we have added. Similarly, I'll drag another get weather code block into the when button submit click code block from the function section. Okay, now we have completely finished creating the app. You can run this app on your tab, smartphone or laptop and check both the temperature and location of these cities. If you have made it in this way, you little ones have done a great job. Send your creation to me on WhatsApp to the phone number note 7681252244. Tell your friends about the creation too. Just like that, you can send it to me and also send it to your friends to see that app. Also, one more thing. Join the DP Coding School Telegram group. Try to be the DP Code Champ Best of the Week once every week. For that, stay in touch with us. And one more thing. Now you can join our DP Coding Club or even start a DP Coding Club at your school. We are ready to give you all the guidance for the process. If any school with a computer lab is interested in starting DP Coding Clubs, have your principal make a request via the email address info@dpcc.lk. So we'll meet with another interesting lesson through DP Coding School. Have a great day.